Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage dōTERRA Presidential Diamond, Gina Truman. I'm unstoppable. I'm a fortune with no brakes. I'm invincible. And I win every single game. I'm so powerful. I don't need that. Oh, hey, there's my people. Just kidding. They're all around. Wow. Hey, ni hao. Oh my. Wow. Well, Hugh wanted me to tell you it was great to meet me. Just kidding. I didn't meet him. Okay, so I'm just gonna skip along because I know we're short of time, so I'm gonna try to get through a lot of this. You'll have to forgive me. I'm a Truman, and we Trumans are known for getting emotional, especially right now. So a lot has changed since Emily first asked me to speak a few weeks ago in our family. As some of you know, my sister Rhonda Ford, a presidential diamond in dōTERRA, has to watch this from her hospital room just a few blocks from here because just last week, without even knowing, she had a brain tumor removed immediately. And then just last Tuesday, she was diagnosed with glioblastoma. Who would have thought? Stage 4 brain cancer, the most aggressive brain cancer you can have. So wherever the cameras are, hi sis, will you have a ton of people in here praying for you. So ever since this challenge has come into our lives, this message I'm going to share with you today has taken on a much deeper meaning. Miracles. So I want everyone to think back to the first miracle that happened in your lives. For me, it was mid-December 1965, an average day with average southern Utah weather at an average hospital 4 hours south of here. The miracle of that day that I became a member of the most loving family, and I became a part of a family that had loving parents. Parents I couldn't have dreamed having better. They taught me right from wrong, how to love and to serve, and most importantly, how to be me. I am grateful every single day for my family. They are my why. They are the reason I get up out of bed every single morning. They are the reason I want to be the best version of myself I can be every single day. In fact, to have this family picture is a miracle in and of itself. You see, this vacation I started dreaming about when I first started dōTERRA. All I dreamed about is I wanted to take my whole entire family, even though some of them could afford it on their own, but I wanted to take them all on a family vacation. So it finally happened, November 2016. I took them all to Hawaii. There you go. If you're dreaming it right now, it will come to pass because this came to pass, and I'm so grateful that it did. Because just 8 months after that, unexpectedly, our cute dad passed away. He was my rock. He was who I went to every single day almost. He was amazing. And I hope that I can do him right the rest of my life. So this family picture we have in our individual homes to remind us the miracle of family and the miracle of dreams. Having said that, my mom and dad had many miracles during their 63 years of marriage. 4 of them were their children, of course. That were their 4 best miracles. But if it weren't for my mom's love of learning and improving our emotional health and well-being, we would not have had the miracle of essential oils in our lives almost 30 years ago. In fact, if it weren't for my mom and the miracles in her life, I wouldn't be standing here today, nor would the Truman team be what it is. So since I felt I needed some extra support today, because I'm jittery and I'm nervous and I'm hoping that new deodorant's working. I think it is. I really like it. How many of you like the new deodorant, by the way? I know, I love it. Woo! So I wanted to invite my mom to be with me today, so I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce all of you to my mother, Carol Truman. I'm invincible, and I win every single game. I'm so powerful, I don't need batteries today. I'm so confident, and I'm unstoppable today. It's a big group. I don't think you've talked to a lot of people in your life, but I don't think you've ever talked to a group this big.
No, I don't think I have.
So I want you all to know, this woman standing next to me, my mom, my cute little mom, has dedicated her life to helping others and finding answers. And with those answers, she had a message she felt strongly she wanted to share with the world. And beyond every obstacle that could have been placed in front of her, including, and my mom and my dad too, including losing everything she and my dad had worked for 30 years, she was still determined to share that message that burned in her heart. Despite not having a bachelor's degree nor even being a trained writer, my mom wrote a book that many of you have been affected by. I think some have read your book, Mom.
Oh my gosh. Oh dear.
No. Okay, so I asked my mom to come out here on this stage with me and share a word of advice for all of us that she's been sharing with my siblings and I the last few years. So Mom, when you think of a word of advice that you want to give everyone here, what would you like to say?
When we seek to discover the best in others, we somehow bring out the best in ourselves. I'm sorry, I don't remember who said that. Darn it, we'll give it to you next time, okay?
No, but I'm seriously though, when we seek to discover the best in others, we somehow bring out the best in ourselves.
Yes.
What if we all use that as our motto from here on out? I think so. Anyway, I bring my mom out here to say, what miracles are you each creating in your lives that you will be remembered for by your family and friends and loved ones? Because my mom has brought a lot to our family, as did our dad. And I want to thank you, Mom. And I know that my siblings want to thank you. And I know that everyone here wants to thank you, too.
Thank you very much.
Uh-oh. She still has something she wants to say.
Well, I just want everybody to know that if I had have handpicked my children, I couldn't have found
I'm
any
not
better.
telling her to say this, I promise.
So I'm very, very, very blessed in my life. Thank you very much.
Thanks, y'all.
And I'm really glad that those that have read my book like it. It changed my life.
Yes, it did. Thank you, Mom.
I'm unstoppable. I'm a force with no brakes. I'm invincible, and I win every single game. I'm so powerful.
Thank you. So there's a miracle that all of us share together, which has made a difference in all of our families and all of our lives, right? One that has changed our lives and continues to do so every single day. It's dōTERRA. So what is your story? How did you each discover dōTERRA? What part has dōTERRA played in your life? For some, it's been an incredible product. For others, it's been a wonderful company with lots of dreams coming true. For me, it's been both, because dōTERRA has definitely changed my life. Let me take you back to April 2008, when this little company started. It had already been quite a year for me that year. Up to that point, I was going through a divorce, and it was inevitable that I was going to have to file bankruptcy. I needed hope. I needed a lifeline. I needed a miracle. And dōTERRA gave me all of those. So as many of you know, I've been extremely blessed because of dōTERRA, because of my friends Rob and Wendy James. I was fortunate to start at the beginning and became the 5th U.S. founder. Thank you. And as any good sister would do, I dragged my brother. Where's Boyd and Sandy? Boyd? Did they go to the BYU game? I'm just kidding. Anyway, I dragged my brother Boyd and my sister Rhonda and my cousin Marty along with me, and that's how our team began. So, back in 2008, the very first convention, I was asked, all the founders got up to share a little minute or two of what to say, and I got up for just 2 minutes at that gala. In fact, if you guys can you see Emily in that picture? Look how young she looks. Not that she looks old now, but she looks like she's a teenager in that picture. Anyway, I was there to talk about a dream. And now 10 years later, here I am, sharing with a few hundred of you, or thousands, how that dream has turned into miraculous realities. If this is not one of those miracles, I do not know what is. So back in 2008, after setting goals and starting our journey, we continually and consistently worked. And yes, we started experiencing miracles happening all around us. From literally changing people's lives to the hope of a better future for so many. Then we started seeing it happening all around the world. And it was humbling, exciting at the same time. Many of you here are a huge part of those miracles in my life. And I want to thank you. And not just my team, but everyone here. Then what happened is I witnessed other miracles happening within just the leadership part of doing dōTERRA, the business part of doing dōTERRA. I witnessed my brother Boyd and his wife Sandy hit diamond. And then I witnessed David and Stephen Schoen and their wives hit diamond. And then I witnessed my sister Rhonda and her husband Scott Ford hit diamond. All of them, plus a few others, hit diamond well before I did. What a blessing it was for me to be able to cheer these amazing leaders on and to also learn from each one of them along the way. Then it was my turn. I finally hit diamond, like years after all of them. Yay. However, 2 months later, that silver leader, because you need 4 silvers to be a diamond, right? That fourth leader decided this wasn't for her, and she walked away and took the interests of her team with her. As you can imagine, I was devastated. I was very disappointed because I was no longer diamond, and I was looking forward to finally being diamond, which brings me to a question. How many of you, by a raise of hand, have been disappointed because you advanced in the business and you fell backwards? How many? Yeah, a few of us. Good. So let's be more specific. I'm going to ask all of my blue and presidential diamond friends to stand. Okay, awesome. And there's probably some up here too. Okay, now my blue and pres friends, I'm going to ask you, if you have had to rebuild a leg, please keep standing. Stay standing. Did anyone sit? Maybe 3. You guys are the anomaly. Okay. Stay standing if you've had to rebuild a leg more than twice. More than 3 times. Way to be, Betsy. High five. More than 4 or 5? High five, Haley, right here. Awesome. Welcome to the club, because what happened is I had to rebuild my diamond leg not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4, but 5 times. Until finally I was a solid diamond. Oh my gosh. I didn't know at the time, but that was such a miracle for me, because with each rebuild, I learned more and more about myself, as I'm sure you did, right? We all learn more about ourselves as we have to rebuild, as we have to step back. It's us that we have to take a look at. So once I was solid diamond, I got to a diamond dilemma because I was doing very well. I had a huge organization, and I could have retired. And so I did kind of step back for a minute, and I thought, you know what, I don't know that I want to build up to blue diamond. It was so hard getting up to diamond, but then I did. I got to blue, and guess what happened to that leader? She gave up. She retired. I'm like, I'm just going to stay at diamond. But then I started doing some self-evaluation, and I thought, no, I've got to keep going because I wanted more miracles, not only in my life, but I wanted to bring miracles into others, into a lot more others. Yes, that's what we're here for, is to be the miracle worker for other people. So what I did is I looked at some things, and I realized that more than 80% of my time, effort, and money was being spent on my existing team. And less than 20% of my time, effort, and money was spent on finding and building new leaders. So I realized I needed to reverse that if I wanted to have more success and more miracles in my life so that I could pay it forward and be a miracle worker for others. So I switched that up, and I determined to spend more than 80% of my time, effort, and money on finding and building new leaders, and less than 20% of my time, effort, and money on my already established team. So now that I had the correct equation, it was time to find and build my blue and presidential diamond leaders. And I wanted to do it differently than I had. I wanted to be smarter, not do it harder. So while I learned a lot and it was challenging, the miracles that happened to me were not in the outcome nor the destination, but it literally was in the journey itself. Today I'm going to share 5 quick lessons I learned during this journey. There are lessons on how to design your life around expecting more miracles. So first, visualize. Who did you just hear from on this exact stage about visualizing? Unless he didn't talk to you guys about it, because he talked to us over at the track B. Yes, Hugh, okay. Yeah, I was thinking he probably would have talked about the same thing. So Hugh talked about visualizing and dreaming, and how every night is when his time is to do this, and how he smells it, and he feels it, and he tastes it, and he hears it, and he sees it. That's what you do when you dream, and you have to write it down too. So, for me, I found a solution that will help you remember your dreams in order to make them realities. It's kind of a secret, so get out your pen because you'll want to write this down. In order for your dreams to come true, now remember, I just came up with this. You have to write it down. I don't know why nobody's ever come up with this concept before. I'm like, what? That's so simple. You guys, write down your dreams. If you have not done that, maybe you're scared of them. Don't be scared of your dreams. This is why you're here with us this weekend, because your dreams can become realities. Whether they're daydreams or whatever it is, write them down. As many of you know, there's literally been research done on what happens when visualizing your dreams. In fact, someone has said visualization is just daydreaming with a purpose. However, you guys, do not put a limit on your dreams. For example, when we don't have a record of our dreams, we forget them, right? For example, just like my dream of becoming presidential diamond, it was in the back of my mind. For years, it was in the back of my mind, but I was so consumed with making solid diamond and then maybe getting to blue diamond that I had never written down presidential diamond until finally I did. And I knew I needed to visualize it and plan for it in order for this to happen. I needed to have 2 new platinum legs. So what I did is I got out my pen and a notebook and I wrote exactly this: what my blue and presidential diamond leaders look like. And I wrote 2 columns on 2 pages. So there were 4 columns altogether. And I was detailed. And I didn't specify, this is what my blue diamond leader looks like, this is what my presidential diamond leaders. It says what my blue and presidential diamond leaders look like. Their talents, literally what they look like, their habits, everything that they had. And I had to become crystal clear about my intentions and goals. And I had to have faith that what I wrote down would become more than just a dream or a wish. I had to believe in myself. I had to believe it would become a reality. And I had to trust God that he would guide me. And he definitely did. Because 1 year later, I was blue diamond. And then a year and a half after that, I was presidential diamond. Thank you. And I don't like to boast about that. The reason I'm here to share with you my story is because of all the miracles that happened with this in order to happen. And visualizing it and creating it was number one. And then I had to internalize it. I love this quote by Marianne Williamson, and I'm going to read it. Okay, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is not our light nor our darkness that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? We are all incredible. Every one of us sitting in this room, if you do not believe it, start believing it today. There's a reason we are all here right now involved with this company that we all love. We need to believe in ourselves so that we will be a conduit for many more miracles. Don't feel guilty for wanting more, you guys. Don't feel guilty for wanting to be in a better place for you and your family, because the more you have, and Hugh Jackman said it too, the more you have to give. And we need to remember that. Now imagine if the executives would not have believed in their dreams, or if they wouldn't have believed in themselves. Where would each one of us be today? Oh my gosh, I talk with my siblings about this all the time. What if dōTERRA wouldn't have happened? Oh my gosh. And I hope my friend Wendy James, my upline, doesn't mind me sharing this. I'm adding this in at the last minute. I remember going and seeing Wendy. Her husband Rob passed away just less than 2 months ago, suddenly. And I looked at Wendy, and my sister Rhonda was with us. She said, Wendy, can you imagine if we didn't have dōTERRA? And she just started crying. She started crying. Thankfully, those executives of ours saw a vision, put it to paper, believed in themselves, and moved forward. And the ripple effect has been a miracle. Absolutely. Anyway, all of our dreams are now coming true because of them. So, I want you to know that you are all worthy and deserving of having more miracles in your lives. I had to work on this in mind. I had to work on deserving. Because I already, like I said, I felt like I already had enough. But I knew if I had more, I could give more. Once I started believing in myself just a little bit more, I noticed that miracles started showing up just a little bit more. One thing I want to touch on for just a minute, you guys, is that we don't have to worry about what other people are doing, what other people are saying. If we could get the... Believe in your ability to love, keep comments to yourself, and take note and lead. All too often we get caught up in the pitfall of comparison. How many of you have done that? Please be honest. We all have. And if you're scared to raise your hand, that's too bad. Because I know that comparison is huge. It's a natural thing. Comparing ourselves to others is really a needless distraction. That's from Jack Canfield. Please take it from me. It is not worth it to get caught in the comparison pitfall. I would have given up years ago if I would have started comparing myself to all of these amazing leaders on the front few rows. I would have given up. Instead, I've learned from each one of them from a distance, and I thank them for what I've learned from them, so many of them. It doesn't matter who's doing what in whatever location on social media, or how many followers any of us have, or how big our teams are, or who's the smartest, or who's the prettiest, or who's the whateverist. Okay, what matters more is how we are using our potential to help bring more better, not bitter, into the world. We each have our strengths and place in doing so. I know it's easy for me to stand here and tell you this, but please believe in yourselves. You deserve to, and we need you to, because we need more miracle workers. Thank you. So, you're probably wondering what organization has to do with miracles. Because, my family I've been known to keep a nice and tidy home. Some people call me OCD, and I'm not. I've worked on that. The oils have helped. Thank you. But what's interesting is those shows, I don't know where to stand. Like, I want to see everyone, and I'm like, where does everybody? I'm like, okay. So, when those shows came on years ago about hoarders, have any of you watched those? Oh my gosh, I was intrigued. I was so intrigued because not just of the lifestyles of these people, but because of what must be happening around them. It got me thinking that I'm sure there are different kinds of hoarding or clutter in all of our lives, physically and mentally. And no matter where or how clutter exists, there's a negative stigma that comes with it, right? Don't you think it would be a good idea to declutter the chaos, declutter the negativity? We would have so much more room for positive miracles in our lives. Thank you. So, for example, how many of you are guilty of this? And please don't raise your hand because you might have a few people come over to you. No, I'm serious. How many of you have been guilty of this? Oh my gosh, I just got my order and everything is wrong. I am calling dōTERRA right now. I am so mad. Yes, I know. I've heard it. How many of you have also been guilty of this? Oh my gosh, why do they keep changing this protocol? Or why do they keep changing this product? I was happy with the last one, and then they changed it again, and then they changed it back. Okay, or if you're building the business, how many of you have been known to say this? Why aren't my leaders doing anything? What are they doing? How come they're not following me? I told them to do this, and they're not following me. Oh my gosh. So, instead, you guys, let's try something different. Instead of seeing the wrongs within your teams or within dōTERRA, let's see all of the rights. Instead of having your team feel obligated to show up like you did or you do, let's meet them at their strengths and then express our belief in them. That's what we need, is more belief in each other. Expressing our belief in just one person will make all the difference in the world. There's not been a better feeling to me, and I'm sure any of you who have been building this as a business will agree, when you get a phone call from someone or someone comes up to you at a leadership event and thanks you for believing in them. That is the best cherry on top of doing this as a business. Don't you agree? I think so too. It's humbling and it's definitely a miracle. So how easy is it to share our belief in someone? Let me show you. You have a cell phone. Looks similar to this. Well, this is what the old cell phones look like, actually, as I look at it. So if you have a cell phone, I'm sure you have someone on that cell phone, your number, your contacts. I dare you to choose one person from that contact list, just one, from today, and call them and tell them you believe in them. And then from here on out, every day from forward, call them and tell them how you believe in them. And I'll tell you what, you will find a difference in your business. Just believing in one. Don't you agree with me, Lee Freiling? Yes. I honestly believe the reason my siblings and I have been so blessed is because our parents continually express their unconditional love and their trust and their belief in us. There's no reason why we can't express the same with our team members, because honestly, they're family too. They are our family. We are one big dōTERRA family. So we have to believe in each other. So thank you, yes. Okay, so this quote always reminds me, I think it's so funny, this quote, that the effect that we have on each other. If I had a bunch of apples right here and started throwing them, like throw a couple of Justin, throw a couple of Betsy, after a while, they probably feel the effects, right? It's the same with negative thoughts, you guys. We cannot send out negative thoughts if we want to be a company of dreams coming true. We have to send out positive thoughts. So instead of throwing out those negative thoughts and those negative vibes, instead we're going to throw out kindness and positive love. Okay, and your mind is a powerful thing when you fill it with positive thoughts. Your life will start to change. We've got to be positive if we want to expect miracles in our lives. We are stewards of this amazing company, you guys, of this amazing mission, whether you are building this as a business or whether you're not. We need to link arms and support each other and cheer each other on. And then we need to actionize. Yes, this is a word. I looked it up to make sure. There's no way around work, okay? There's no escalator to success. There is not anything or anything that you can do that will replace work with except simply work. Okay, sometimes that means we have to get uncomfortable. So, getting uncomfortable, let's talk about that for a minute. That's how you break the plateau and reach the next level. So speaking of getting uncomfortable, I want to share one quick story with you. But first I need to preface this story by telling you that I honestly do not enjoy traveling. I love being in my nice little cozy home just an hour south of here. In fact, it was hard for me to even pack a bag and come and stay at the Marriott. I really do love being home. So, needless to say, almost 3 years ago, I was on my first trip to China to go and be with David and Tanya Shung's team out there. And on our flight out of Shanghai, I remember turning to my brother Boyd and saying to Boyd, I have a feeling I need to move back here. I have a feeling I need to come here and live. And I was like, oh my gosh, bring those words back. Because Boyd has a way of keeping you to your word. And I'm like, he's going to keep me to that. Didn't matter though, because 5 months later, I was living in Shanghai. No, I do not speak Mandarin. I wish I did. To all of my Chinese members, thank you. 谢谢. I wish I knew how to speak Chinese because I love these people. And I have come to love these countries that I didn't used to like to travel to. I have come to love China and many other countries. And by the way, I don't fit in there either. It's kind of interesting. I feel like what's that term? Out of place. Anyway, so I had been there a couple of weeks, or it was about a month and a half, and I felt I needed to go to Hong Kong. And we had a leader there that on the Shung's team that needed me to come. He asked me to come and do some trainings for he and his team. So I went over to Hong Kong for a couple of weeks, and one of the first Sundays I was there, I was looking for a church to go to, a Christian church. So I found one, and I went to church that first Sunday, and I walked in, and it was a crowded church. I was like, what is happening here? And I was trying to find a chair to sit down, and I heard someone call my name, and I'm like, whoa, who knows me here? I'm like, oh my gosh. And I turn around, and I saw an old friend I had not seen in 18 years. Some might call this a coincidence. I call it a freak of nature miracle, because not only had I missed this long lost friend, because neither she nor I are on Facebook, but she became one of my new leaders. 2 months later, another amazing leader contacted me, and both of these leaders were who I had created and visualized just months prior. Thank you. Thanks to them. Thanks to miracles. So I ask you guys, what would have happened if I wouldn't have followed my heart? What would have happened if I wouldn't have gotten uncomfortable? And what would have happened if I hadn't have left my comfy chair in my comfy home and gone somewhere I was uncomfortable going? What I'm saying, you guys, is you need to move. No, I'm not. I am not saying you need to move. Do not move. You do not need to move out of your city or your town, your small town or your suburban city, wherever you live. You do not need to move out of where you live to build your business. All I'm asking is that you get uncomfortable. Do something that will bring you closer to your goals and dreams. If you don't know what that is, then ask. I promise you that if you ask what your goals and dreams are, or if you need to ask what to do or where to go, you'll be told. I know the answers will come. I am one that I do not believe in excuses. If I hear any of my team members call me or on mentor calls or whatever, if I hear an excuse, I will immediately say there's always a solution. We cannot complain about the results we don't get from the work we aren't doing, right? Yes, so get to work and look forward to all the miracles that will happen because you are working. And remember that when you bring the law of attraction, that law of visualization, together with the law of action, then you will positively see more miracles happen in your lives. So last, we're all familiar with the golden rule, right? Do unto others as you would have them as you would want done unto you, right? Okay, so since we're in dōTERRA, we're going to use you go from gold to platinum, right? So here's the platinum rule. Do unto others as they would want done unto them. When we genuinely put the needs of others before our own, then that truly opens up more opportunities for miracles and to be a miracle to others. With the more positive twist in our lives and harmony abounding, let us also remember the importance of being single-minded, meaning feeling, thinking, and living in harmony. We cannot be one way and inconsistent in another way. For example, there was someone on our team a few years ago. Her goal was to be a silver leader. But yet, I knew with her actions and her heart were inconsistent with how she was leading her life and building her business. I could tell that I just kind of knew from experiencing it before. She was doing all sorts of different things. She was probably doing 10 different things. Yet she wondered why her dōTERRA business never flourished. So your heart and your head need to be one, you guys, as well as being consistent with how you live and treat others. Okay? So you guys, let's live our lives in harmony throughout all areas of our lives so that we can be a greater magnet for miracles. One last way to magnetize miracles that I believe is the strongest way is to show gratitude. Gratitude is the magnet for miracles. The best way to appreciate something more is to be without it. The best way to appreciate someone more is to be without them. For example, I thought I loved and appreciated peaches. Oh, they're my favorite fruit until peach season just ended. I am so sad. I really am. If any of you know anyone who has any peaches, I'll take them. Anyway, and I thought I loved and appreciated my health until I lost it completely. And I thought I loved and appreciated an amazing leader until they quit. I thought I loved and appreciated my dad until he passed. Did you know that there's no such thing as being too grateful? So let's magnetize those miracles to us by being more grateful, by expressing more appreciation, and by staying humble and continually being not just good, but the greatest stewards of this company that we've been blessed to be a part of. So you're probably wondering how it looks like for you to be a magnet for miracles. Find what resonates with you. For me, it's every morning I wake up, I look in the mirror, walk in there, my whatever braces are in my mouth, and my hair is everywhere, and I look in the mirror and I'm like, I am a magnet for miracles this morning. Woohoo! Literally, I say that. And guess what? I am a magnet for miracles. They happen to me all the time. I see them happening throughout the day. Yes, some things don't always happen perfectly, but I look for the miracles in everything. And guess what? When you're a magnet for miracles, people notice and they want to become more of a magnet for miracles as well. Take my sister Rhonda, for example. I've been spending as much time as I can with her in the hospital the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure you can imagine how hard this has been for her personally and how she's feeling going through all of this. So when she starts to feel down or frustrated or things get tough, you'll start hearing these words coming from her hospital room. And I've been there when she said it. I hope you're saying it now, sis. I am a magnet for miracles. We are all magnets for miracles. How strong of a magnet you are depends on you and the choices you make. However, we can start every morning from now on, before we walk out the door, by confidently knowing more miracles would be magnetized our way, especially for showing more gratitude, especially to those on our teams and our families. And I want you all to start doing this starting right now. If everyone will stand with me. Sounds like an earthquake. That's awesome. Yay, all of them. Okay, now on a count of 3, we're all going to say, I am a magnet for miracles. Actually, we're going to on the count of 2. 1, 2. I am a magnet for miracles. Okay, that was okay. So, I want you to put your receiving arms out. Hit the person next to you if you have to. And confidently, with so much confidence and belief in yourself, on the count of 2, say, 1, 2, wait. Okay. We're going to try that one more time. Arms out. On the count of 2. 1, 2. I am a magnet for miracles. Yes, you are. Expect them. Thanks, you guys.